For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight up hustle. We see you. But if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the Heedy Postgame Show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, what is up, everybody? It is a Wednesday. How's it going? And you know what? You're watching the Halos in the Infield postgame show. I am Todd Fox, along with my Halo, joining the Revolution tonight, which was televised. Man, oh man, it was great from the start. We went to Golden Road first, and then we walked over to the stadium. There was about at least a good, I'd say 2,000 fans there dressed in white. It was really nice. The vibe was great. The chanting was awesome. They just let us down on the field tonight. And we'll get into it. We'll talk about everything that went on tonight as the Angels suffer a loss. They lose 6-4 or 6-3, I should say. And it hurts because if you've been following the ticker during the game, I wasn't until I started getting some people being like, hey, did you hear what this team? Did you hear what that team? There's been some early trades, and one of them affects us big time in the division, which is Suarez from Arizona going over to the rival Seattle Mariners. And what does that spell? Yes, in the long term, it's maybe a gamble by the Mariners because they're giving up three big prospects, but the Mariners are getting a solid, all-star third baseman to go along with the Rosarina, to go along with Naylor, to go along with Rodriguez, and to go along with Cal Raleigh. I mean, obviously, offense is their problem, and now it seems like they have all the tools to get there. They have all the offense to get there. But let's talk about what happened tonight. Again, we knew it was going to be an uphill battle. It's frustrating as an Angels fan to know that, we had another opportunity to take the series all the way, to get a sweep. How many times have we seen this? And if you've been along with us at any point in the season, you've seen us get a couple games and then not go for the jugular or just fall short or play real bland. And I know Nathan Eovaldi's a good pitcher, but we had our opportunities. And then the way we gave the lead up really sucked because I was sitting there in row C 238 with Santa Claus, if you saw me on TV. And by the way, the Heedy Sports Network or the Heedy postgame show, Halos in the Infield in general, it's by the fans, for the fans, by the fans. Because we're in the stands with you. We're not that cocked on, locked on podcast bullshit, which if you listen to the live that he did, but when I was setting up everything, I did troll him and I put in yummy tasting nut in the comment. He's like, thanks for all the comments tonight, except for the one I just saw. Fuck you, yeah. So I got to him. It was great. I had to troll because after a loss tonight, man, it kind of takes the wind out of the sails. The fans were great. I mean, we'll go over what happened, but the Angels really needed to win this game tonight, and that error by Jo Adell really sucked. It really sucked because that was a catch that should have been caught, literally, or a ball that should have been caught. It was right there. I don't care what anyone says. That should have been caught. It led to a run, and then obviously Garcia's home run later on in the inning really, put the game away. And then we were not able to muster up much after that with Shauna Will's 2-run homer. But again, the vibe was great tonight. That's why we're the fans. That's why Heedy is there, because we're in the stands with you. There was Cowboy Vince was there. We had a bunch of other people that were there. It was a great time. John from Halo Boys, hats off to you. You're the one that started the revolution. We're trying to start like a Wally's World out there in right field, get the fans all jazzed up and hopefully pump this team up and be known for things like this, having the Halo honks, not necessarily the Halo honks. We hate the Halo honks, but we want the real Angel fans, the Halo boys out there or the Halo girls out there, because it was, oh man, it was awesome. every type of person was out there. It was great. Everyone was high-fiving. I was passing out thunder sticks. I had bracelets. I was passing those out too, red ones. It was fun. It was fun. Great atmosphere. Thank you for everyone that came by and said hi. It was awesome, but the game didn't live up to the hype, man. Obviously it was going to be an uphill battle facing Eovaldi. Eovaldi always just owns us, but we were able to get a run to tie the ball game up. As we'll go over the scoring real quick, after Langford's RBI, Renifo hit a single to center. Mancada scored. The Angels left first and third after that. Then Simeon singled when Seager had reached base and then stole second base. And then I think went to third on a sacrifice after the drop air by our boy Adele. And then you had, it was 2-1. And then in the eighth inning, Garcia's home run really was tough. That 2-run homer coming off, I believe, wasn't that Detmers? Yeah, Detmers gave up the 2-run homer. And then Detmers got into more trouble. Then Bachman was terrible. And then, two guys who had been resting the last couple nights, they get lit up. And tough luck loss for Soriano. He gets those 2 runs charged to him. Only 2 walks allowed, 7 strikeouts through 7 innings. Gave you a quality start. But in the end, the Angels couldn't muster up the offense till it was too late. You had Corey Seager strike out 3 times. They struck out 10 times as a team. The Angels mustered 2 walks, but struck out 8 times themselves. But the fans, I mean, this one was all about the fans tonight. The fans rocked it. It was great. Bilson's calling for Mike Trout with the bases loaded. Oh no, what happened? Yeah, that sucked. Again, another opportunity for our boy to come through, and Bilson.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful. How terrible! Oh no!
Yeah, it was tough tonight. And again, you had pitching. You had really good pitching by Soriano tonight. He did look like an ace. And man, oh man, just it didn't happen for us tonight. And let's see, Mike Trout as my GOAT was there. What is up? I met him. He was sitting right in front of me. It was great, dude. The chants were awesome. It was so proud to hear everybody say, sell the team and chant, Artie sucks. And then they were chanting for the players. It was great. Yes, we do need a right fielder. And, It was just a tough game tonight because, again, I felt that if we'd faced any other starter tonight at the way the boys have been hitting, even with a couple guys missing, we would have won this game. And, again, we can't get a sweep when we really, really need one. And then going into, again, a lot of people were saying, we got to do this, we got to do that, and the other teams are going to be able to make these trades because they have what it takes in the farm system to be able to trade these guys. We just don't. So we're stuck with what we got. And we're going to have to most likely roll what we got. I don't think they're going to sell. I think today's trade, Garcia is not the pitcher I was focusing in on. I think when they got Chafin's a good lefty that, say, for instance, like the other night when they had Detmers and Burke going and they don't want to pitch him back-to-back nights, you can throw Chafin out there in a high-pitch situation and he'll get the job done. So it was awesome in right field. It kind of felt like Oakland. I was in Oakland about, I want to say 4 years ago, or maybe it was before the pandemic, and the A's were good and they were making the postseason run. And we were up there and it was pretty packed up in the Coliseum and their right field was going crazy. They had the flags going, the kazoos going, the chants going. And that's what it kind of felt like to me. I think John and the Halo boys did a hell of a job hyping everybody up. He had extras of these. I got my wings earlier. He gave me one of these robes, and then I did the makeup, and I was out there having a great time. So it was really fun to be out there with every last one of you. And again, that's what we do on this network. We're not a fake-ass network. And by the way, if you want trade coverage tomorrow, we are going to be streaming from 12 to 3:30. Those losers are going to try to come on too and run a little show, but they always copy us, man. The moment we say something, they got to copy us. That's why I can't stand them too. That's many reasons, but they're going to do one too. But we're going to do our trade show. We're going to have many surprises on tomorrow. Sam Blum, Cocked On Podcast for sure is going to try to copy us, but they're not the ones that are going to have the stars on. We're going to have some stars on, some guys that know baseball. We're going to have some guys from Talking Halos. Sam Blum from I think he's an OC Register or one of those papers, and he's online. Does a lot of good Angels, network stuff. So real legit people are going to be on our show. So that's where it's at. And again, we're the fans. We're just like you. We're talking Angels baseball with you. You got your questions for any one of the people that we bring them on tomorrow. It's going to be really cool. As far as this team needing certain things, I brought it up earlier. If we could get a couple, Ke'Bryan Hayes, last night I brought him up. He winds up getting traded to the Cincinnati Reds, and he's under control till 2030. I didn't know that. That really sucks too, because Cincinnati didn't give up anything for him, really. And he's a really good player, utility guy, third baseman. You could use him like a Sean Figgins. And man, we needed an outfielder. I see Tyler right there. Matthew Lugo isn't the guy right now too. We need some depth, man. And I think that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to pick from some of these teams, while Seattle and other teams are going for players that are high ranking in their system or stuff like that, because they have the capital or their starters or whatnot. We got to look for the best of the best off the bench. We may be able to get a second string. I guess the topic last night was Joe Ryan from the Minnesota Twins. A guy like him, Shane Bieber, those guys are available. Those guys I think we can get. I think the Angels have enough capital to get those guys. But anybody above those guys, it's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to get the top tier guys, obviously. So we're going to have to work, hopefully, with what we got, and what we got's not much. So again, if the magician, the Houdini, can pull it off in Perry Manassian, then all kudos to him, because again, if you look at the standings right now, with the Angels losing tonight, we look at where are we in the wild card? So with the Angels losing tonight, it's not the end of the world, but they still sit 4 games out. Tampa Bay's 3 games out. Kansas City has crept up to 3 games out. Remember when they were 5 out? They're now 3 out. Minnesota's 5.5 out. You have the shit fucks, meaning the Guardians, are at 2.5 out. Texas Rangers and Seattle Mariners are tied. That is huge, because now leaving here, the Angels Stadium tonight, they're probably on their way to the airport as we speak. The Rangers are going to be flying up to Seattle to play a 4-game set with the Mariners. That is huge. The Angels must, and I repeat, must, if they want any chance at this, take advantage of the White Sox. But again, this team is not good enough to say, hey, we're going to take advantage of this team. Hey, this team's going to be our bitch. No. It's one game at a freaking time. That's the only way we can do it, because we just don't have the arms. We just don't have the offense to get it done nightly. So we're going to have to just see and hope game by game basis. Corey says, you think Artie is not going to do anything because he knows he isn't going to hit hard with a billion, or he's going to get hit hard with the billions? I don't know, man. I don't know. It all depends. He might have thought tonight's event was going to be just sunshine and lollipops, but man, oh man, when he heard Artie suck and he heard all that other stuff, man, I know he heard it. There's a someone that said that he was there tonight, and even if he wasn't, you heard it on TV. A lot of people were hitting me up saying, "Hey man, I hear you guys chanting. It's awesome." So we'll see. Drummer Jennifer says Saturday Hendricks will get us. Let's hope offense and defense help out. We're talking about the Angels and playoffs. Jerry, just because we're mathematically alive right now, and I'm honking my honk a little bit because, we're alive this late in the season. Yes, Jerry, I'm trying to temper my feelings, but I'm honking my honk just to the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah, I know. It ain't the right thing to do, but still. So there you go right there. And then also we're going to play the little soundbite here tonight because we got the loss. And that means we got Buttercup. We had a lead, and we blew it.
Dear little Buttercup, won't you stay out? When? You and I will settle down in a cottage built for two. Dear little Buttercup, sweet little Buttercup, my little Buttercup, I love you.
Jose said he saw me on Amazon Prime. I was on there a lot, dude. I got a lot of messages about that, so that was cool. Again, that's why we're on, because we're in the stands, man. Deuces Wild said, Todd, what's good, brother? Tough loss. Saw you on TV. Thank you, sir. Also, you think Artie will get forced out with the audit? That's the hope. That's the hope, Corey. If you haven't heard before, again, the audit is coming. It is coming in either November, maybe the end of October, possibly December, but it's definitely coming before the end of the year. The city will force their way in and get a look at the stadium. And if they find a lot of cracks and all that other stuff in the stadium, that's gonna require Artie to pay out of pocket because the city won't help, and he's got to retrofit that stadium, and that's going to be a hefty price tag. And I don't know if he can afford it. Miguel says, I saw you on TV. Thank you, sir. Yeah, and who was there, man? The fans were there. They got all kinds of goodies from us as we were passing them out. James says, no clutch hitting at all season long. Way too inconsistent. We have runners in scoring position and can't freaking capitalize. Kevin said they called you out on TV. I think we sell now that we lost today. I wouldn't put it past them to again, we're 4 games out. We didn't lose any ground. Seattle and Texas play. I think the Angels are going to go on mid kind of trades. So with the Buttercup I played right there, there's only one other thing to play. Mateo called it. Spritz a clock, baby, and then I'll get back to the comments right now.
Yeah! I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying?
Miguel says I was in front of the home run. That's awesome right there. Wade said, that was you? Yes, it was. Mike Trout as a goat says, I was literally sitting right in front of you. Yes, you were. I saw you right there too. Drew says, hey, I was the one in the monkey mask. Go Angels. Yes, I posted that on TikTok. I took a picture with him and Santa Claus. That was and no rally monkey tonight. You're down 2 runs. Play the goddamn rally monkey. Not a complete sell, but take advantage of the market and sell some pieces that teams will overpay for. And I think you're going to have addition by subtraction. And then you're also, again, if this team was 8 games out, Ward would be out the window, but they're going to keep him. I think Kenley Jansen now stays. I think this team thinks they're in it. And man, we're just going to have to take one game at a time. Saw you on TV as well. Didn't know that was you. That was me, man. I am the freaking Halo honk, man. So yeah, I remember you right there. Where was Rally Monkey when we needed him? Yeah, there was no Rally Monkey tonight. So let's get to the comments right there. Mason Miller might get traded to the Padres. That would suck. Also, Mateo says, bad news is we lost, but the good news is we're still only 4 games back. By the way, star of the game, because again, we got a lot of comments too, so usually I'll jump into that. But the star of the game tonight, I think you have to give it to Eovaldi. Nathan Eovaldi got us again, and man, we can't beat that dude, and he shut us down. And I'm going to actually have it for the winning team and the losing team tonight. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to give it to, because I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy at all. I think I'm going to give Nacho Night to Corey Seager because he had the hat trick tonight with 3 strikeouts. Other than that, I really don't want to give it to the Angels. I think the fans deserve the Stamos tonight for the fans of the game tonight. And I was disappointed too. There was literally only like 4 Deos. There wasn't that many Deos tonight. Back to the comments real quick. You got Demetrio says, honks be like, but Adele is having a career year. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, he missed that ball, dude. That really fucked up the game. Demetrio says Adele on a career year going to be the one that is main reasons why we don't make the playoffs. Classic stank Angels. JT says, I saw you on TV tonight. Also, Bilson says Wayne and Gooby were delusional with their hopeful attitudes tonight. Unwatchable commentary. Thank you, Mateo. He saw me right there. Mateo also says, well, he was fat. Are you talking about me?
Fat son of a bitch is going to try us all out. Calm down, okay? All right? He's fat.
Saucy says, hey, had plenty of chances with runners in scoring position, but blew it. Also, that beautiful bunt by Campero pretty much sums up our game tonight. That's the problem too, man. You have opportunities to bunt. There's no freaking small ball. That was first and second, nobody out, an opportunity to get second and third against freaking Evaldi, and he freaking bunts up in the air. And again, I go back to my playing days. I go back to just a few years ago when in batting practice, the first couple pitches they see from a pitcher, the batting practice pitcher goes right to 2 practice bunts, and then you start swinging. They don't do that no more. Yes, they were Bursuta tonight. Andrew says, get Bachman fucking out of here. He was terrible tonight. Dead said the crowd noise on TV was absolutely fantastic. I could get used to this. I could too. And I'm hoping that this sticks around. I'm talking to our boy John. We're going to be talking about doing something with him. So, and the Halo boys moving forward. So maybe this will become a thing. Todd on TV stamps Trout's 2 for 2, 2-2 pitch on third, first pitch, top of the 8th, first pitch, bottom 9, and the post-game montage. Oh, that's pretty awesome. I was on the montage too. That's awesome. Couldn't win tonight because we'd get too close to 500. That's what my dad's been saying, Bilson. Andrew says, get that fucking Artard Johnny Washington out of here. He's fucked up every single bat that the Angels, and I can't stand him right there. Got to take Cease away from Houston before they get him. They get him because they're close to getting him, I heard. Also, what size hat or shirt do you wear? I'll bring you some gear sometime. Oh, that'd be pretty cool, man. Hat. I have a big head, dude. 7 5/8. 7 5/8 on the head, and then I'm a double X, so I'm pretty tall, Sue. And a little stocky at the moment. We are 0-1 since we became buyers. Artie Sucks says. Tony C says we have to be sellers after this disaster. I'm disgusted with this game. Smash the like button and share. Go Halos. Man, I really wanted this game tonight. I really did, just for the fans and just to have some sort because how many times have we seen this, guys and gals? We have a really good series against the team. We take the series, we're going for the jugular, and we have that off date, and we just whiff on both. We can't get the sweep, and we can't get the good vibes for the off date before the next series. It just sucked tonight. Mateo says the doggone Angels lost. JT says later. Andrew says we didn't even fucking use Luis Garcia today. Why fucking buy then? Madapi says balls, and Wayne wondering about the Halo honk. Yeah, I guess he was like, "What's up with that guy?" So I didn't think I was going to get on that. For you to
check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Gavin says Todd's face on TV was my exact reaction to everything when the wheels fell off. Also, Mike Trout, as my goat, says the real question is who should buy the team. And again, we got to see if he sells first. If he sells with the audit coming up here, or somehow he does sell, because I don't want him to weasel out of it. But if he does sell, there's plenty of people lining up. But it would literally not be one owner. I think it would be more of like a collection of like billionaires. Bilson says, heard the chants from right field on all night on TV. Great job, Angel fans. I think Trout needs to go in the 5 hole and put Ward in the 3 hole and Adele in the 4th. I like that, Seastrom, or custom right there, 7. That's what we've been saying. We've been saying the same thing. Hopefully they can slide him down in the lineup. He's just not good at 2 or 3. Tyler says, so cool seeing everyone out there on TV. Wilbur says, oh no, we suck again. And that's unfortunately true.
Oh no, we suck again.
They reel us in just to piss on us. Time to say good game. Yes, Caleb. Suarez going to Seattle is crazy. Mateo says, Todd, how do you like our trade that we made? Gave up a bag of chips. I do like it because that reliever Chafin's pretty good. Mateo, he's talking to Mateo. My bad. Halos from X says, hey, I got one thing to say, my man. We can't win every game. A man with a 1.50 ERA pitched against us tonight. We stayed 4 games back. It's really not the end of the world. We are fine. And you know what? When you say it like that, I can't argue that, but EQ does go, fuck! Marty says, sell. EQ says, Joe Adell busted at Aaron Judge. He sure did. Who are the candidates to purchase the Angels if Artie is selling? It's obviously the dude from the LA Times. He has a couple guys interested as well. plus the dudes from the Golden State Warriors. You have another group that's out of, I want to say, Utah. So there's quite a few that's just the ones I know. Andrew says Todd's trying to join Kiss tonight. It does look kind of Kiss. What do we think when we make any other moves? Caleb says, I think we can make some moves, but again, like I said earlier, it's gonna be minor moves, if anything, bench guys, and maybe pull off a 2. Simo says, I seen you. Yeah, thank you. Electric atmosphere tonight. J-Dog says, but of course we lost. Eric Ward says, homie the clown ain't got shit on Todd. Nick Tate says, 2 ways the Chicago series will go. We'll either get bitch slapped or do the bitch slapping. That's true. This ain't going to be like a knock them out, drag them out type of series. Rally Chris says, I heard the sell the chance and the Artie chance on TV. That's great. Also loving the sell the team chance. Also, they were saying, sit down, Erica, when she was interviewing John. Simo might come back this week, and I heard, yeah, he's definitely going to be back against the White Sox. Also, Jesus says, well, the Angels are like a roller coaster. It's a big L, but I like that they did that trade for, but the Trastros kept winning, and also they traded Ramon Urias today to the Trastros. Halo says, we are literally in the same spot that we started at the beginning of the day. We are still only 4 games back, face the top pitcher with a 1.5 ERA, 5.0 ERA. Sometimes everyone freaks out. We are okay. A ton of baseball left to be played. You know what? You're right. And I think someone else agrees with you, Halos.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Andrew says, Wayne even mentioned the chance but didn't go into detail, of course. Breaking news, the Astros are now engaged with trade talks with Miami Marlins, Sandy Alcantara. I'm not really worried about that dude because Sandy's coming off of Tommy John. He hasn't exactly pitched great since being off of Tommy John. Also, this team is allergic to being 500. That's my dad's take is true. And, yeah, Mike Trout is a GOAT. Everyone's agreeing with you right there. If we win this series, we got this. Seastrom likes our chances. I do as well. Also, Andrew says, Soriano 7 innings 3 times this month. He's been great. Soriano must be pissed off, Mateo says. Eric says, I'm really hoping that we don't give away a lot to sell that we can build on for next year. I don't see this team getting over the hump. They just don't have enough right now. It's true. It is true. Brenda says, hi, I took a picture with my nephew today, or you took a picture with my nephew today. He was in a monkey mask. Yes, he was cool as hell, your nephew. Brenda, thank you. Also, and the Mariners lost today. We really know how to shoot ourselves in the foot. I know it seems like the end of the world, man, but I think like Halo said right there, I hope that the Angels can do their thing and just at least give us 500 baseball, or we can remain close. Todd, I was watching the game. You got on the TV in the bottom of the 3rd inning before Trouty struck out with the bases loaded. Archangel says, when I saw you on TV, I reached for my baby oil. I don't know. It's kind of scary, man. Rally Chris says, so Suarez goes back to Seattle. Also, eBay says, it was awesome meeting you, man. Thanks for the thunder sticks, except for the ones that you gave that guy sitting right behind us. My wife has a ringing headache that probably won't ever go away. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Also, Mike Trout says, you know what's funny, man? My dad is a White Sox fan, and we're playing them next. Yeah, you got to give them to him if we beat them. Also, go get Masturbator. No, we're not going to go get Masturbator. Big Red says the Texas announcers were loving the energy from right field. They kept panning over to right field. That's cool. Again, it felt like Oakland from a few years ago. We all know that Ward will not get moved, but we want him gone. A lot of fans like him, though. John Heyman just had the Padres are working on a possible Mason Miller trade. Not done yet. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of trades tomorrow. Todd Fox, I think San Diego Padres, you're talking about Mason Miller. And it's okay, man. I mean, that's got to give the Dodgers a little competition. Let's see also Campero for Nachos. Eric Ward says, guarantee you they keep Ward too. Blood Moon says Trout strikes out with the bases loaded, just doesn't have it anymore. And that can be a conversation that could take all night. I mean, there's people that are just going to bat for him no matter what. And then there's people that want to respect him, but are sad to see what he's going through. And then there's some that just want to give up on him. So it's a mixed bag with him. Chuck says you got some screen time. I appreciate that. Trade Trout to the Yankees. Time's up sad though. Send Campero to the IE ASAP. Hoodrich says, dude, Campero looks, sometimes, it looks like even at my age right now, I could still play a better outfield. I'll say it. Let's see. Twins traded for Johan Duran, which makes it sound good because again, we have a chance for Ryan. Ryan will be available. It looks like the Twins are sellers. It's not basically a playoff series, but I will say, I think that it's going to be a huge series for us. We got to do our thing. Also, if Trout doesn't do anything against the White Sox, they better move him down in the lineup. I agree right there. Also, heard Artie sucks on the radio broadcast. Moises says the Angels are 2035 World Series champs, calling it now. Mike Trout says, Todd, I noticed everyone you go into the clown, or every time we go into the clown outfit, we lose. No, I have a winning record with this. Let's see. Also, Gavin says, Artie sucks will be the best thing we got from the trade deadline. I'm hoping his ass gets audited. That's what we're all looking forward to. Dead says, you're the most Halo-arious clown there is. Thank you, sir. Also, we never got the lead tonight, Todd. We were losing 1-0. Oh, that's right. Then we gave it. Well, I feel it was a buttercup because Joe dropped that ball, man. That seemed to open up the floodgates. But you're right, Rally. Hopefully you yelled at Adele, oh, no, we suck again. Oh, dude, he got a lot of shit. But there was some people that were like, no, we love you, Joe. I was like, no, I'm not having that. I was quickly.
Emotional damage.
I was like this to the guys that were cheering for him.
How dare you?
Yep. Also, Janice says, heard all you Angels cheering and chanting. If we turn out to be the Titanic, let the band play no matter what. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Daniel says, we get Garcia to designate Quijada. Yeah, I don't understand that move. That move was trippy all right there because Quijada, I see upside with him, but no longer. There's nothing else there anymore. Yeah, it was right there, gentlemen. Josh says, Bachman is a giant bust. Does anyone want him? Man, oh man, it sucks to see how he's turned out, man. Josh also says Mike Trout is super ass. Also, when we lost, I was like, oh my God, yes, it was like this.
Oh my God!
I guess Logan O'Hoppe is our best hitter now. Also, Todd Fox, how many years do the Angels have Andrew Chafin in control? I don't know. I have to look that up. I don't know. Maybe Grillmaster can get back to me on that one. Yeah, I bet you if I do the clown more, I mean, the makeup's a son of a bitch, but hey, give me Steve Ballmer. Yeah, dude, but Ballmer, they've asked Ballmer before, and he's not going to take the Angels. He's not a baseball fan. A lot of people thought that a guy like, was it the Dallas owner was going to do it too, the Mavericks? He's a Pirates fan, so he doesn't want the Angels. Soriano has been pretty legit. I felt he pitched his ass off tonight. It just sucks that he got a freaking no decision, or he got the loss. Dan Rios says, me love you long time.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny, and me love you long time.
What's going on with Artie and all this about getting audited? Am I missing the info? Arturo, the stadium is in dire mess. He pays $1 for a for what's it called, the leasing. He wants to get his grimy little hands on all that real estate so he could do the same thing that the Angels are going to, or that the Ducks are going to do. And basically he's getting audited by the city. They got to come in there and check the status of the stadium. And if it doesn't pass code, because it looks like it needs to be retrofitted, it hasn't been touched since 1998. He's going to have to pay out of pocket because the city won't help him. And that's what we're hoping, that we're talking about $1 billion to $2 billion. And if that's the case, that's half of Artie's wealth. I don't think he's going to do it. I really don't think he's going to do it. And again, Steve Ballmer would buy this team if he was into baseball, and he's just not. Stan Kroenke, that's a guy that I would love to do it. He has endless money everywhere. Every team that he's bought literally has won a championship. He has an MLS team. The Colorado Avalanche won a Stanley Cup. The Rams won a Super Bowl. So yeah, if Kroenke wants to get a bite of the Anaheim market, I say take it. Josh says, is Erica attractive in real life? You know, it's funny. Asking for my buddy Gavin. She's pretty. She is very, very, very pretty, and especially in person. I took a picture with her last year. She's awesome. She's really nice. I know we've made fun in the past. We've made fun of everybody. So, but she's cool about it, and she's really nice. And believe it or not, she's close to my age, and she's still very, very pretty. She is. Eric Ward says she's hot. Mateo says Seattle has the tiebreaker against Texas. Abraham says congrats on appearing on the TV broadcast and Angels Instagram. All on Angels Instagram. That's awesome. I gotta look for that, Abraham. Thank you, sir. Kawhi says saw you on TV today. Thank you. What's Papa Fox saying? I didn't get a chance to talk to him tonight, so I don't know. M-Dog says, Todd, Gavin Carlson tweeted about you. Oh, my God. You got to tell me what he tweeted, or I got to look him up somewhere, because I did get – it was funny because as I was I have dual screens, right? And so I had this screen up, and all of a sudden I had a flash on my screen. It came up random when I was adjusting the YouTube stuff for monetization and all that crap. I was setting all that stuff up, and then all of a sudden it said Locked On Cox was live. And so I'm like, okay, let me click on that real quick. And he was finishing up the show, and the comments were coming down. And so I'm like, yummy tasting nut. And I put that in there. And then as I was fixing up the rest of the stuff, he was ending the show. He goes, I thank you everybody for commenting on the post game and except for one. And I'm like, yeah, nailed it. So there you go. J-Dog says, did you see the Taylor Ward lover? Yes, I did. He's a massive Taylor Ward fan. He's got like 8,000 followers, dude. I mean, that's pretty crazy, but hey, to each his own. Like I said, Taylor Ward, the hitter, I'm mid on him because yes, he has 26 home runs. Yes, he's leading the team in RBIs, but 230 average. He's never really hit above that. He strikes out a lot. He doesn't work too many walks. And outfield, I mean, him playing the outfield, he's a perfect designated hitter. But he sucks in the outfield. I mean, he's terrible. Noodle arm and all. So I've always been out on him. I've always been one of these guys that wants to trade him, get the most for him. But again, if this team was 8 games out, I'm pretty sure they would deal him because there's a lot of teams that are interested in him. But he's going nowhere magically. I was at the game tonight. Ryan says I had so much fun listening to you guys so loud. Thank you so much, Ryan. Also, Joe Dog says, what do you think about the deadline tomorrow? Knowing it's a trade deadline, I'm hoping for Ryan from Minnesota or Shane Bieber from Cleveland. But we'll have a show on YouTube here and on X. We'll put it up here on X. We'll have Sam Blum and all other kind of announcers from Talking Halos coming in. And we're going to be having a panel talking about from, I think, 12 o'clock noon Pacific to 3 o'clock. And that we're going to cover the rest of the deadline. And if anything happens after that to 3:30. So we're going to be on for a good while tomorrow. So if you got the day off, if you got some time to kill and you want to get your messages in and your comments, hey, tomorrow's a good day to be with us tomorrow as we cover the trade deadline all together. Leaf is very happy. He's a Mariner fan up in Seattle. He says maybe the Angels aren't a playoff contender. They really shouldn't make the same mistake they did in 2023. That trade deadline and collapse set the Angels back years. You ain't lying. And that's coming from a Mariners fan. He's like, be cautious. Fernando says Chafin doesn't even like the state of California. Seastrom says, am I the only one that thinks our manager is ass? No, I hate the way he runs that bullpen. Some things with the hitting I like, but the bullpen, not so much. And the lineup suck too. Herman says, what are the chances we trade Kenley? Not good at this point. I think Kenley expressed the fact that he wants to stay. And I think also Kenley is going to try to re-up. I've heard some birdies chirping in the Angels organization. He likes it here a lot. He's close to family. So there's an opportunity for Kenley to be our closer again next year. We'll see. Also, Laugh Out Loud's going to be the Mariners. That's got to be a Mariners fan right there this year. He's calling for a collapse. Tyler says, who is the guy in right field with the freaking Dodgers jersey? There's always one. Mateo says, for a minute there, I thought we were at Yankee Stadium with a roll call chance. Daniel says, we're 4 games back, Kansas City and Cleveland and Boston. We win. We're still past, still got to get past 500. That's where I'm actually going to take this team seriously. If we get to 500. Lexi says, how do I become an Angels in the outfield? You mean you just want to wear one of these robes and get one of these fancy doohickeys? You got to go on, I would say go on Amazon. You can get those for like $15 or less. Like just look up Angels, Halo, and Wings. And then as far as these robes, they're on Amazon as well. And then if you want to just go to the game, go to the game. I mean, it's in right field. They're going to try to make it like a Wally's World type thing. So we'll see what happens, but that's how you would do it right there, unless you're talking about joining the Halos in the infield. Micah says, low-key, Adele set the tone tonight with that trash game back-to-back double plays. I didn't even talk about it. Thank you, Micah, for bringing it up. I was so focused in on that air. He did kill 2 innings. 2 innings in a row. Thank you, Micah. I forgot all about that. You got 2 men on, both times leadoff guys on in a 1-run in a tie game. I'm sorry. He got him on both times in front of him in a tie ball game, and this guy immediately hits into a double play. Thank you, Micah. I forgot all about that. Twice. And then it's like, bro, you got to at least play good defense if you're stumbling in the batter's box. And he freaking does, like they said earlier in the comments, Aaron Judge, and drops that ball, dude. Yes, Micah, first pitch on both at bats. Great point. I completely forgot about that. It's like a guy struggling a little bit with his command, which he was. Eovaldi had a couple moments there where he got leadoff walks, or maybe when they had the 2 men on as well, and Campero couldn't get the walk down or the bunt down. He was struggling a bit. But offensively, if you want to say there was a moment where it flipped the game, it was the Campero bunting popping out and the 2 double plays by Adele. I forgot all about those. I was focused in on the other stuff. I forgot about those, man. Those pissed me off because it's like, and then one of the times, I think it was the first or second double play, Mancada would single. Then they got I don't know if it was a double or they somehow had second and third after that, but they couldn't get the hit with 3 outs. So it's like, damn, dude, you could have had a big inning right there. And instead you get nothing. Joe Adele was not looking like himself out there. What happened? Yeah, I don't know, man. He didn't look like himself. Also, Simo, Tony C said, had a great game tonight, 2 doubles tonight. I think we wake up tomorrow and get a half. We're going to probably get a half game by not playing. Perry really needs to be fired already. He did a horrible job in the draft. Andrew says we had Higa Shika, I can't ever say his name, look like an all-star this month. 3 home runs, by the way. I know I'm going to wake up to some BS tomorrow. Josh is already ready for it. I'm sorry, Josh. Also, if Todd ever gets interviewed by Erica, he better say, I got my eye on you. I will. I got my eye on you. Josh also says, no way Perry misses an opportunity to do something that nobody else would approve of. There you go. What's Roger asking James right now? Hey, did you get the guy with a clown on TV? James! Also, let's see. Mike says, Josh, I'd like to see you hit a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Eric Ward says, speaking of Bachman, is it me or is he just completely full of anxiety on the mound? He looks like he has no confidence whatsoever, and he should because he's got really, really good shit. And, yeah, not looking good. Travis says, just a sad Angels fan tonight. I feel you. At Mike Trout, I was squaring up a 90-mile-per-hour pitch at the cages a couple months ago. I could put up a competitive 0 for 5 with 5 Ks just like Trout. No, Josh seems like a player out there, man. We got to get you out to that softball tournament, if anything, if you're hitting hard balls. Todd looks like a picture of a hot woman last year. Steve Elise is fuming right now. Jeez, here we go. Stormzy Zek says, hear me out. We trade Ward for David and Dennis for Ward. Okay. The height difference between Wayne and Gooby is crazy. Yeah, dude, Wayne is like on a step stool next to Gooby. Gooby's tall, dude. Gooby's really tall. Let's see. Andrew Chafin will be a free agent. Oh, yeah, so he's a rental. J714 says this team has too many holes to compete with the rest of the other teams that are competing for the wild card spot. But if they can get some wins, who knows? But you're right. Besides a change of ownership, naming rights to the stadium would help. They would. So if this stadium is, Juan Pollo Stadium, then it's Juan Pollo Stadium. And they're paying about $300 to $500 million in that stadium rights contract. I don't think she's married, being Erica. Also, Todd Fox, Taylor Ward should stay at catcher, or should have stayed as catcher. He wasn't a good catcher. Doesn't have the arm right there. Also, Leaf commented Q Lombardi right there.
What the hell's going on out here?
Also, let's see. Also, sorry, Leaf. The Mariners lost to the A's. Eric Ward says, I saw Nutboy's tweet. He basically said he never thought reading a Pistachios ad would get him rent-free space inside a grown man's head. Dude, if he only knew the jokes on him, like, how does he live rent-free in my mind, dude? I just love poking the bear because those guys think they're hot shit, and they literally are two-faced to a T. So Nutboy can have all the fun with that, and he wants to come off like it doesn't bother him. We're the ones in the stands. We're the real fans. Those cocks are up north somewhere. So I don't know how you can call them Angel fans. Kylo says Ward only has the most RBI since he bats fourth. Shawnuel Neto in the fourth would probably be a better RBI leader. And they would get a lot better if the lineups were changed and they would stop saying, okay, he's earned this spot with his prior career, so he's, just pencil him in at third. No, if you're actually able to make him work for third again, then yeah. But no, I don't like the fact he always gets penciled in at third. Corey says, when does the sell the start of if Artie is to force out the sell of the team? Well, it would basically he would basically have to make up his mind very fast into the new year, because he would have to say, okay, I can't afford this. I need to either cut somebody in to be a part of a group of Artie and somebody else, like sell a portion of the team, or he'd have to find a straight up buyer, because I don't think he can afford to do all that, or he'd have to pull out a loan. Who knows? There's ways he can get around it, but there still is that slight chance that if the city makes him retrofit the stadium, he's going to lose a lot of money going into 2026, because he's going to have to retrofit it before the season starts. So that means immediate work. That means he's going to immediately pay. So we'll see. Bring back the Anaheim Angels. I don't know says I saw you on TV. Thank you very much. Jonas says Adolis Garcia really showed off that 375-foot home run. Being part of the Revolution felt like a college football student section. It was great. It was awesome tonight. Let's see. What did he do? I watched it. I didn't see. I don't know says. Okay. That's between you guys. My bad. Andres says thoughts on Ohapi's defensive behind the plate. Ohapi always seems to try and pick hitters in the dirt when he should be put his body on the line and block them. Oh yeah, he's definitely got defensive issues. He doesn't know how to stand back there. He's not all that comfortable. I can easily see Ohapi moving to first or an outfield position because he has the skinny frame. So again, it can't be much worse than Taylor Ward at this point. Could we be an overreaction? But I want to wake up and see that everybody got traded. It's not an overreaction. It's just going to be something that may surprise you tomorrow. And I'm thinking maybe in a bad way, like Grillmaster thinks.
Emotional damage.
Also, are we buyers or sellers tomorrow after that loss? I still think we're buyers because we're only 4 games out. We're right there. Renifo hitting 300 in his last 30 games. I'll sell high on him. There's a chance that could work. Chafin he's there till 2027. Rally Chris says he's ready for Chargers football. Tony C says they're talking about Bieber and Quan to the Angels for Detmers Rada, a lower level pitching prospect. At this point, I would do it. To be honest with you, I would do it. Bieber's from the SoCal area. I know he's wanted to play here for a while. I think that would be the right way to go. Already read that one. Jesus says, if Angels and Guardians make a trade, it will be wild. Gavin shaves Halo Brothers' butt hairs and glues them to his chin. Daniel says, I hope that home run Detmers gave up doesn't get in his head. I have a feeling. Mateo says, Shannon Sharp fired by ESPN. Well, there you go. They can't afford him, and he has terrible takes. I don't know says, do you think if we traded to the Twins, they would accept Soriano, someone else, and a prospect for Ryan? I wouldn't get rid of Soriano. You'd have to give up like a Kane Data, an Aldegari, and for him, I think a 2-for-1 for Ryan. So I would do that because Ryan's proven. Ryan is proven. We don't know what Aldegari is, and we don't know what Kane Dana is. I don't want to give up on Dana either, but they've had bad years in the minors. And if you really want to win, I think you can pull that with those two pitchers, or even one of them. Elias Sylvia says, saw you on TV, bro. Thank you so much. Artie, there's any good outfielders, or are there any good fielders out there we could possibly trade for? There is a few of them again, but we don't have the capital to get those. We have to always get the mid-tier guys or the bench guys, the number 4 guys in the outfield. I feel like the Halo brothers with the long hair is the evil one. It's actually the other way around, Josh. It is the other one is the evil one. Gavin went on a date with Halo Snuff, the Great White North, yesterday. Heard they had a also Google it. He's in control for 2 years. Stephen Kwan is a SoCal guy as well, and a god at hitting. And again, a guy like that to get on the team, I would love that. Metcalf says, I saw you on the Jumbotron tonight. Thank you, sir. You think it was a good idea to buy? Personally, you think we should be selling? I think we should be selling too, Derek. But again, I think with a franchise, and this is me trying to speak for the Angels themselves. And what I'm going to say is this: the Angels' justification for being buyers tomorrow is going to be the fact that, hey, we haven't been to the playoffs in 10 years. Not the fans' fault. It's your fault. You fucked up year after year. It's not our fault, but they're willing to mortgage the future to get back to the postseason to say, hey, we're doing something. Hey, but is it going to really screw things up? That's what I'm worried about. Like I want it. I wanted to sell most of the veterans to really repopulate and re-solidify the minor leagues. But if we're not going to do that, do not risk it. Be very, very, very careful the way you trade. And be very smart about it and realize, hey, we can get a few pieces here and there. Let's not overspend. Let's not overdo it. And try to work something to help the team move forward. If you really think that they're, a playoff team, then make a shot, make an honest run at it, but don't go all in. A Jinx says, bro, that was you at the game. Yes, it was. I was there, and then that's who I am. And you see me at the games. Again, I'm not like this weak-ass podcast. The other one, Locked On Cox, they don't go to games. I'm a fan just like you guys. And I'm high-fiving just like you guys. I'm feeling like shit walking out the tunnels just like you guys and gals when they lose. But I'm happy as fuck when they win. Also, let's see. I still think we can buy, but also sell Mancada or Kenley. Kenley will be hard to do. It's tough. Derek says, yeah, true. But I think even if you buy, they will get guys on 1-year deals and it will be the same. True. And that's the thing that Angel fans have to realize, Derek, and you're one of them, just like me, a realist. It's like, we could be playing for this year to get to the postseason, but we're really not going to lock anybody up for several reasons. Artie's got to find out what's going to happen with the audit. Then he also wants to get $38 million of dead cap space off the books, which is Anthony Rendon. And then he also wants to know if there's going to be a baseball season in 2027, which there are very strong indications that we are headed for a lockout. So again, I don't see him spending and getting multi-year contracts either, Derek, because there's too many things at play. He's not a billionaire with open pockets and doesn't want to be. He'd rather spend on promotional things than actual things on the field that we all care about. Also said, would Bieber be the ace of the staff? He might, but he'd be a very good 1A, 1B with, what's his name? Kikuchi. So there you go right there. Let's see. Fuck, that would be sweet if we got those dudes. Stormzek says, would you like to get Robert from Sox? Not really. Andrew says, Pastor Boy Locked On brother doesn't even go to the game. None of them do, Andrew. Neither one. John went to one game and he was freaking out like it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. It almost looked like he was at a brand new stadium. He's like, I didn't know Angel Stadium was this big and live. It's so beautiful. And then Gavin the same way, dude. Those guys are freaking hilarious. Robert might cost us some things. That's the only reason why I say don't do it. Halo brothers are like super fake douche brothers. Fake as a $3 bill. High school football practice for Mateo is getting going. Locked on dildos. eBay says, I agree 100%. Artie needs a sell, but I thought the timing of the sell, the team chant was terrible. down 2-1 game, still really close. That flipped the positive vibes into negative. I 100% agree, eBay. I really wanted to see the Angel fans keep that good vibe going. So man, it just sucks that that they did have to do. I mean, if they wanted to do those chants in the 6th and 8th inning beyond, yes. But yeah, it really sucked. Jinx says, damn, I walked by you like 5 times and didn't even know. Well, if you go to games, I'm in 260. I was only in right field because of Revolution. If they do the Revolution again, I'll be over there in right field. If not, I'm in 260. Corey says, you think Artie has a chance to sell the team? He does, but it's slim at this point, and a lot we're going to find out in the next couple months. Who do you think we're going to get tomorrow? I really think that we're going to get either Bieber or we're going to get what's his name? I was just saying it right now, Ryan from the Twins. We've got to get at least one starting pitcher. If Artie sells, are you nervous about Buyer would consider relocation? No, because he's got a you have to pay maximum money, $500 to $800 million to move a franchise. Artie has places he could move the team, but with a stadium already set in place, he'd have to give up majority control to an ownership group like Orlando or what is it called? Nashville. That's not going to happen. He wants total control. He has an ego bigger than the size of Anaheim. So there's no way he's going to do that. And so he's going to remain in Anaheim, and he's got the lease here. His whole thing is, I've got to buy the land so I could develop it and make it a huge connection with the Ducks and have a huge OC vibe by 2030, 2032. Riley says, do you think we're buying or selling? We're buying tomorrow, obviously. I don't think we're resigning Moncada either. eBay says game immediately went south after that first chant. That was a letdown. Kenley drives me nuts. Seems like he gets lucky every night. Somehow, some way, those pitches are on point, though. What will we package to trade Yohan Moncada? I don't think we'll get much for him, to be honest with you. We might be able to get another bench player, but I say at this point, as long as he stays healthy, I say we hold on to him if nobody wants him. No one's going to give us anything with control. Sam Blum tweeted the Angels playoff odds that dropped to 3.4% tonight per Fangraphs. Will be interesting to see if it causes a reverse course to sell the trade deadline. No, I don't think so, because again, I think that this team runs by its own feelings, and I really think that they're going to try to make a run for it tomorrow. And I really think that if any team, again, in this playoff race gets hot, it could get interesting. We saw it with the Tigers last year. I'm not saying the Angels have the goats to run and the Warriors to run, and get through these teams. But you think about it, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams vying for 3 spots. So that means we have to jump 6 teams at minimum if we're going to be serious to get into the postseason. The good news is we're only 4 games out. My big thing has always been 5 games and above. Above 5 games, you're out of it. 5 games and under, you still have a chance. You have an opportunity. And I think the Angels do have an opportunity, which sounds funny. And a lot of people want to sell. I want to sell too, but damn it. The thing is, it really sucks because it's one of those, what can I say? Why is the word slipping my mind right now? But it just sucks because on one hand, you're thinking that you want to win, you want to go all out. And then the other thing is like, hey man, but for the betterment of the team, the betterment of the future, it's time to sell. And I just don't know, man. I just want to get to the playoffs too, but it just depends. You sell your soul for that. And they tried that in 2023 and look what happened. Andres says, click on the fucking like button. We only got 8 likes up in here. The fucking world famous FanDuel honk is up there giving us a great show. Like always, shout out to you, Todd. Hope to meet you at the game soon. Man, I really appreciate that, Andres. I really do, man. Thank you so much, man. I mean, it's comments like that makes it all worth it because, again, we weren't given a silver spoon like Cocked On and Locked On Cox. Like literally, every listener, every viewer has been organic in that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love the fans. I'm one too, and we're real fans. So that's why it's a passion project for all of us that are involved. So I just thank every one of you guys for being supportive to everybody on this channel. and supportive of this show, because it takes a lot to run the show. It takes a lot to do the things that we do. But hey, man, we want to provide that stuff, because this is what I'd want to listen to. If someone was doing a show that was real about it, that could cuss every now and then, that could give you some funny shit, some skits, some jokes, and then also touch on the inner workings of the team, talk about things behind the scenes we don't hear about at AM 830, talk about player experiences, and then get the feedback. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we like. That's what, that's what I've always wanted to show. And the chance to give that to the fans and give that back to the public has been something I'm very proud of. And I'm very thankful to every compliment that we get. I'm very thankful for everybody that's just on here commenting and hitting the like button. So I know I went a little sappy, but you guys and gals out there, really, and again, I think the biggest thing that I get out of this whole experience is being recognized at the stadium, and you guys just being, hey man, Todd Fox, what's up, man? That to me makes my day. I freaking love that. You don't even have to say, hey, you're the best, or the show's best. Even if you say the show sucks, the fact that you're recognizing and you're tuning in, I appreciate that. I really do. And everybody else in this network too. So thank you. I can't thank you enough. Angels sweep this weekend, and we could finally finally get to the beloved 500. And that's, can we do it against the freaking Chicago White Sox? Grillmaster says no.
He's nuts. Got him.
Mateo says, I think we get Bieber or Ryan. Andrew says, I'm going to go broke if the Halos make the playoffs. I think a lot of people are. Archangel says cocked on. Also cucked on cocked bros. Also, we have the best fan base. We do, and it's time to get us some W's. That's for sure. JL says, hey, warning on the White Sox. They are playing tough. Eds says, hey, Todd, it's Eddie from today. Was legendary, bro. Thank you, Eds. Appreciate that. JL says, go get Correa from the Twins. They will give him up for little or nothing. Have him play third base. That's interesting. Will the Angel fans go for that, though? Because, again, there is that deep hatred for Houston Astros players, even that they're gone from that cheat scandal. A lot of people don't want any of these former Astros. So could we get past that as a fan base? I don't know. The White Sox offense has been on a fire recently, and yes, they have some really good young players that are coming through. Theis says, I want to see Angels playoff baseball so bad. Mike Trout as a goat says, the last time the Angels were in the playoffs, I was 6. Don't do anything, just play. Also, who do you think will target? And Metcalf answered for me. That's probably a starter. I think he's right. Hood Rich says, knowing the Angels will be buyers tomorrow just to get swept by the White Sox. Man, and that's the problem. And I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, it's when you have a team that you just can't count a win. You literally can't look at it and say, bam, that's a win, that we're going to take that series, we're going to do that. You can gamble on it, but I'm not sitting here feeling 100% on every one of these games where it's like, damn, dude, that's a good series. That's a series we should win. Because again, if you look at the schedule, and I brought this up the other night, if you look at the Angels' schedule moving forward, again, I'm going to contradict myself, because again, I'm going one game at a time. I want to see where this team goes, but you have to look at it this way too. You could look in, because we're going to be scoreboard watching until this team falls out of it, basically. But I will say this about the schedule. It doesn't look all that easy. Look, even though the White Sox have been sneaky good, you got Tampa Bay, who I challenge any of you guys to name one or two players from that starting lineup, and somehow they're ahead of us. They're only 3 games out at 500 record. You got Detroit, one of the best teams in the league, at Detroit. You got the Dodgers coming to town. The A's are always pesky, but we've handled them. Cincinnati Reds, that's a series I want to see, because the Cincinnati Reds have beaten us 6 straight times, which is 2 straight years in a row. We owe those assholes. We got to beat them. Then we got the Cubs in town right after that. Then we do the Texas 2-step between Texas Rangers and Houston Astros, then Kansas City. That's a tough make or break, if we're not already broken by then, 10-game series or 10-game road trip from August 25th to September 4th. Then we come home against Oakland again, or Sacramento. Then we got the Twinkies. So there's a 6-game stretch to probably make up some games. But then here's our series again, season again. If somehow we're alive on my birthday, September 11th, we're at Seattle for 4. We're at Milwaukee for 3. And then we come home, or then we're at Colorado for 3. Then we're home for Kansas City and Houston. That's not exactly an easy schedule. That is not exactly an easy schedule. Carlos Correa will not be an Angel, Jesus says. We need to buy tomorrow for a starting pitcher, a number 2, and go all out. Tampon Bay is going to be tough. Also, I would take Correa. I don't give a shit as long as he helps us win. I'm kind of the same way at this point. At least Correa plays. Rendon has ripped us off. That's true. Road trips kill our momentum. Drew says, let's see. Also, wait, hold on a second. I missed a couple comments there. I wouldn't mind Luis Robert over Campero. Yeah, if we can get him. Corey, I'm not saying no on him. I know you've brought him up a few times. He's a great player. I think he would be better in the outfield, and also a more challenge for the opposing pitcher to get out, obviously. But, what's the White Sox going to ask for him? Drew says, I don't see any point of holding on to Kenley or Moncada when they won't be here next year. Well, Kenley might be here from what I've heard. Moncada, I would look to trade too, but who's going to trade for him? That's the thing. Also seeing what packages are out there, we need to trade Kenley ASAP. Yep, and we'll have to see. Grillmaster says Laureano. I think that too. Also, Eric Ward says he helped fuck the Dodgers, and that makes him a good dude in my book. Speaking of the Dodgers and our former girlfriend, Shohei Ohtani. Now, I am not going to pat myself on the back because it's kind of hard to do that with these wings. And I'm not going to, inflate my ego because I kind of have an ego, but not as big as people would think. But I will say I called it. Shohei Ohtani is not a two-way player. Let's stop that discussion. That discussion stopped 2 years ago, and let's stop talking about it. He's not a factor. He never will be. He never will be a starter again. He threw 6 straight pitches in the dirt or basically outside the strike zone, looked terrible, came off with discomfort. He's only going to be a hitter. Will he go into the Hall of Fame? Yes. Never disputed that. Will he go in as a Dodger? Of course he will. And will he win another championship or two? I hate to think about it, but there's a chance, especially if they get one in before the collective bargaining agreement. But I will say this. I was right that they overpaid for him, and the deferred money is bullshit. And I don't like the fact that, he's part of the problem. Dodgers are a huge problem that baseball is going to go on strike in all actuality. And JL says, I said he should be a closer years ago. And you know what, JL, you were right. I started saying that probably after you did, because you were saying that years ago. I was saying that at the beginning of the season. I thought if the Dodgers were smart, they would move him in as a closer. But now, I mean, if he's already getting, this Tommy John stuff again, you're getting the UL, ligament starting to act up, and you're getting the forearm tightness, you're getting the elbow tightness, you're starting to get the what is it called? The elbow, God, what am I can't bring up that name. The what I'm talking about. The rotator cuff kind of discomfort. He's done, dude. He's so done as a pitcher. He should just stop. Just stop wasting everybody's time, because you already saw, and I was hoping that he was going to be a starter because the diva already started doing diva things with the Dodgers in forming a 6-man rotation. He was already like, hey, the Dodgers are on a 6-man rotation because of him. And he fucked up so many of the pitchers here in Anaheim. And I was hoping, man, I can't wait for him to screw up the regimens and the routines of all the Dodger pitchers. But unfortunately, he didn't get that far. And he's not going to miss any time, because if anything, they'll just make him deal with it in the offseason. The UCLA right there. UCL. So there you go. Archangel says, Gavin, the two-way nut collector. Speaking of which, let's play this one.
Guys are crazy. Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome back. What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson. Don't get it twisted. You've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. It's hard. It's hard. Oh, man, it feels great. Oh, yummy. Oh, how about a yummy? Oh, come on. Magic. Oh, my goodness. Guys, tasting nut.
Yep, tasting nut. Man.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Yeah, he had cramps. Supposedly, he stayed in the game. You don't get cramps in your arm. That's bullshit. They're lying to you right there. So it's not cramps. It's something more serious. I don't see him pitching most of the rest of the season, if not all. I think it'd be stupid to do it, but hey, it is what it is. And if the Dodgers can afford it, then whatever. But I think he should stay in there as DH the rest of the year. It makes sense. The only way around. Sell Ward, sell Jansen. They're not going to do that, Eddie. Unfortunately, they're still in the playoff race, and they're stuck. We're stuck in buy mode, and so now it's just don't sell the farm. Eric says $700 million deferred for a glorified DH. Laugh out loud. Yeah, he doesn't even play defense, man. And imagine if we still had him here in Anaheim. We couldn't move him to first base. We couldn't move him to the outfield. So with Trout being full-time DH, what the hell will we do with Ohtani? Impressive makeup job, I must say. Thank you so much. The beard screws it up. When I didn't have the beard and I did it the first year, it was clean, dude. It even looked better. So, yeah. Eddie says, what is stopping us from charging into the front office and overthrowing them? Security. The security will be one. They have locked doors over there. I've knocked on there to troll them before, but they won't hear us out. They literally won't hear us out at all. The only way that they could possibly do it, if, again, we can't be on the grounds, but you know where the hot dog guys and gals are when you walk out behind those little barriers? If we were to have signs and if we were to be unified in some sort of gear, whether it's wearing all black, wearing all white, wearing all red, and we had sell the team banners and sell the team, posters and shirts, and we were chanting, they couldn't tell us anything from those barriers in the parking lot because that parking lot is considered public property since Artie doesn't own it. So the city owns it. That's his biggest gripe. So we can argue, we can fight, kick, moan, scratch, claw, do whatever we want behind those barriers, just like the hot dog people do. Because what they're doing is super illegal, but they're able to get away from it because it's public property. So with that being said, that would be the perfect place to chant. Now, if we wanted to go under the hats, then yeah, they could get us into trouble. They can disperse us, all that other things. But as long as we're right there, yeah, we're fine. Let's see. Also, Michael Lorenzen played both ways. He barely got 700K. Spectrum Murky says, when do you think Mike Trout is playing the outfield again? I don't think he's doing it the rest of the season. I think he's done. He's going to be a full-time DH. Carson says, what does the future of the Angels look like with the current state of the farm system? Well, Carson, they did their best to regroup some of those players. I think the minor league system is getting slightly better, but I would like to see, because last year's free agent class with international players was pretty damn good. It was actually top, I want to say 5 or 7. They were somewhere. I know they were in the top 10 as far as best signings of international players. I want to see another round of that. Another round of that would help. And then if you do another good draft next year, and then the progression from the rookies this year, let's just say, Carson, they're about 3 years behind on a rebuild of the farm system. So Danny909 says, hey, hear me out. Trade Trout. If it was possible, my man, we would have did it already a couple of years ago. I think the whole loyalty thing, but Artie doesn't want to let go of his cash cow because that's what Trout is. But there is no way. There's no way that they're gonna deal him because he's a legacy player now, and I don't think the Angels want to part ways with him. That's just my opinion. Spectrum also says Ray is dumb. He started Bachman. I think that was the worst reliever we have. I don't know, instead of the guy we just traded for. That's good. Garcia's not all that great. I would have went for Chafin better, but I hear you. Bachman's been a little up and down, so he did screw that up. And Detmers was part of it too with a home run giving it up. So it was a clusterfuck tonight. Riley says, I saw you tonight. Corey says, you think Mike Trout retires if we don't make the playoffs, or it depends on new ownership? I think if he starts to deteriorate, there's a point in his ego where if he can't drive the ball anymore, I think he will retire. And also, I I think there's no chance of him being traded, and new ownership would play a big role, because do you want to hold on to a guy that's aging out, or do you want to try to get what's best? And it depends on if the new ownership, because most new owners, they want to make a splash. And I think that would be a splash. All these guys I know spend a lot of money when they first buy a team. Eric says he gets Marsha moist. Chafin couldn't pitch tonight because they needed open roster, or they didn't have a roster spot open. Angels minor leagues are doing doing all right. ACL champs. Well, that's like rookie ball. So let's see. Eddie says, who would even be interested in this team? There's a lot of owners. Again, this team is worth a lot of money and does make a lot of money. So it's not like it's a poor franchise. It makes a lot of money. But you also got to run it right. And that's something Artie Moreno doesn't know how to do. So I think we've gotten to that moment here. Only bad thing I feel about what would come from selling the team is a new owner moving the Angels. No, it's not going to happen, dude. There's no way this team's going to move out of the market. You're not going to move an LA market to a poor market. It's just not going to happen. And even if he wanted to, or she wanted to, you'd have to get it past the league. They all have to vote on it, and there's no way they're going to move a team out of there. Archangel said Trout's knee is probably hurting him. Eric says, I bet you Todd really has Marsha feeling hot and moist tonight. Cue Bally's. Artie's ego is bigger than Alex Curry's melons. Yeah, those are huge, by the way. Also, what rookies do you think the Angels will call up soon? I think you'll see Victor Medeiros. And I think it's Victor Medeiros. Grillmaster always corrects me on that. And then Kanan Dana, again, we're going to see him. Shane says, are we dumb for supporting this team? I went twice last week, and I'll be there in the next 3 weeks. Well, come by and say hi, Shane. I'll be in 260. Alex Curry mentioned. Also, yeah, but no, you're not dumb. You're being a fan, dude. Also, you think of the front runner for new ownership will be Patrick Schoening if Artie is out. I don't know if he's still number one, but he's definitely in the top 5. Also, I think we should sit pat and pray. We might just have to do that. Kyron Paris would be nice to get back up here, but he needs to get his hitting going. Let's see, Todd, you pronounced Victor's name right this time. You're good. See, I did get it right. Thank you. Also, we need to call up Kyron. He had a 499-foot homer. He's got power. Shane says Alex Curry is a national treasure. Man, she rivals the Colorado Rockies. If you get the mention right there, those are definitely some peaks. Just saying. I don't want to be say the wrong thing. So. If you know what I mean. All right, I think on that, we'll call it a night. I think we trade Joe Ryan from Twins for Kanan Dana. Yeah, dude, getting Joe Ryan would be great. Let's see. What about Matt Luigi? Matt Luigi. Maybe. Let me look him up real quick. Hold on a second. Because unless you're thinking Matt Lugo. Let's see. Because I don't know of any Matt Luigi. Nothing's pulling up Luigi. You must have met Lugo. Yeah, Matt Lugo. Give him another chance if you don't make any moves. I think he gets called up. Yeah, you threw me off that right there. Yes, we do need another bat. Eric says it best. All right, everybody. You guys have and gals have a good rest of your night. I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go take a shower and take this makeup off. Angels win. We gave it a shot tonight. Was really hoping for all good things. I was going to say we're off tomorrow. We aren't. We're going to be there for the trade deadline show. So at 12 o'clock, be on the lookout for notification on X and also here on YouTube. And you can talk to us all day as we are going to be talking the Angels baseball tomorrow in the trades they do get done or the ones they don't. So we're going to be talking about everything and all the other trades in between. And yes, hashtag sell the team. I'm 100% for that. Series win at least. Good night. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, everybody, for participating. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night from the Big A and from the Todd Fox studio and from everybody in the Halos in the Infield Network. We'll get them next game on Friday.